Wolf Gang, we back in this thing. Back with a brand new video for y'all. Now, continue on from my last video where I talked about breaking out of the swirl and the power of self. Now, continue on with the power of self series. This video, I'm talking about why you should focus on living in a state of being instead of in a state of doing. It seems like we always try to think about like, oh, what should I be doing next? What can I do to become successful? What am I supposed to be doing with my life? Right? And the thing about that is when you're always focused on what you should be doing, you lose sight of what you want to be, right? And how you should be living in a state of being. So when it comes to doing, right? If you're always worrying about, oh, what am I supposed to be doing? Oh, I'm not doing enough. Oh, I should be doing this, that, and the third. Then you stress yourself out and you start to feel unworthy. See, it goes back to that little voice that I was talking about in the last video. If you allow that little voice to keep talking and screaming without quieting it down, you're going to find yourself stressed out and anxious because you're going to feel like you're not doing enough. You're going to start looking around and looking at everybody else's situation and looking at everybody else's success. And then you're going to be like, damn, well, what can I do to get like that? Or how come it's not happening for me? So what I want you to try to do, guys, is flip that, right? Instead of worrying about what to do so much, focus on who you want to be in life. Because when you focus on who it is or what it is you see yourself being in the future, then all the doings will naturally fall into place. For example, if you see yourself as a, let's say, content creator, right? If that's what you see yourself being in the future, well, you won't be stressed about like what you're supposed to be doing. You already know what you have to do. Okay, I have to make content. Okay, I have to start learning about marketing, promoting. I have to start learning about how to use a camera, about how to use a computer if you don't know how. Like, once you figured out what it is you want to be, then you will naturally do the actions it takes to become that person. But it's all about living in a state of being, of realizing that God is for you, right? The universe, whatever you believe, is for you. So when certain things happen, once you make up your mind on what you want to be in your future, then everything will naturally fall into place. You will meet the right people, right? You will come in contact with the right opportunities at the right time, all because you know who you want to be and you're living in that state of being. Once you start to be, the doing comes easy. You don't have to worry about what to do. If somebody said, "Oh, I can see myself as a NBA basketball player when I get older," well, you know the actions you need to take. You got to be in that gym. You need to work on your shot, work on your dribbling, work on your defense, right? You need to be consistent, working out. You know the actions you need to take once you figure out what you want to be. The problem is people don't know who they want to be. You don't know who you want to be in this life. And we got to get back to knowing who we want to be, who we see ourselves as being. Because then going back to the swirl, once you know, going back to the NBA reference, once you know you want to be an NBA player, then that little voice that tells you you can't do it or all those false assessments people may have made about you, saying, oh, you're not good enough, you'll never make it to the NBA, this, that, and the third. You won't pay no mind to that because you already see yourself as that. So all that background chatter is just background. Remember, you observe when your little voice, when you start to overthink, you start to stress out, just observe those thoughts. You don't become them. You instantly ground those thoughts. You just observe them. Tell yourself, that's interesting. Right now, my little voice is telling me I can't do this, that, and the third. Well, I'm going to keep pushing, and I'm going to prove to the little voice that I can do it. A lot of times, it just be ourselves overthinking, stopping us from achieving great things. We get caught in the swirl, and we feel like we can't do nothing. But like I said in the last video, deep breaths, you exit the swirl, and you observe your situation better. Then you're able to move accordingly. Okay? So don't focus on what to do, because I think we've been taught backwards. Like, we've been doing things backwards. Society tells you, oh, you need to do this, that, you need to do a lot, right? You need to work hard in order to be successful. Well, you do have to take action, but I would think you should work smarter, not harder, right? So that's why you take the approach of figuring out who you're going to be, live in that state of being, and then let the doings come after. A lot of people like to do things first and then figure out, okay, what it is I'm supposed to be, I'm supposed to be. But that's backwards, because you could do a whole lot of things, right? You could take a whole lot of actions and end up nowhere, end up worse off than before, because yeah, you was doing a lot, but you wasn't doing the right things, right? What that J. Cole song say? The good news is you came a long way. The bad news is you went the wrong way, right? That's what happens if you start doing stuff without knowing who you want to be at first. So figure out who it is you want to be in this life, and the rest will follow. God will take care of the rest. I promise. Don't even trip. All right, y'all. That's it for this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Give your boy some feedback. If you made it this far, I want you to comment B down below, because that's all we got to do in this life. We have to be, right? Be. All right, y'all. To the next video.